Well, it's finally here, folks. The 2021 Volkswagen Golf GTI has landed in Aussie showrooms. It's much more expensive than before, it has a lot more standard equipment, but familiar GTI underpinnings. This is an obvious move upmarket for what many deem to be the original hot hatch. You can no longer get the GTI with a manual transmission, and it's a lot quieter than Golf GTIs of old as well because of tougher European sound regulations. The question is, does the latest version of the GTI really resemble the blueprint?
The GTI famously introduced and popularised the hot hatch genre with its introduction in 1976 and has been a mainstay in Volkswagen's lineup ever since. For 2021, the GTI introduces base pricing that is $11,000 higher than its predecessor just 3 years ago. But for that, there's new styling, a completely overhauled dashboard interface, and much more standard technology.
Styling changes to the GTI for 2021 are headlined by a new front end. There's this really cool new LED lights that take full effect at night, where you get an LED strip that runs the entire width of the bonnet. It looks really cool. There's also 5 new fog lights on either side that's encompassed into a new honeycomb grille and front end apron design. Elsewhere, naturally for a GTI, there are side skirts along the side of the car, new LED tail lights and 2 bulbous exhaust outlets at the rear.
The GTI is complete with 18-inch alloy wheels shod with Goodyear rubber and red brake calipers, while under the bonnet resides an unchanged EA888 engine matched solely to a 7-speed wet dual-clutch automatic transmission. Whereas overseas markets get the option of a manual transmission, Volkswagen says the take-up in Australia is simply too low, which is a great shame.
Now this is where the Golf GTI has taken the biggest step forward. There are a load of changes inside the cabin, including a new 10.25-inch centre touchscreen display that's matched to a new virtual cockpit display as well. There's more odds and ends storage, courtesy of this new fly-by-wire gear shifter, which liberates a little bit more space. But you also get some really nice technical touches as well. 4 USB-C points across the cabin, 3-zone climate control. And while there is much more of a minimalist theme inside the cabin, I've actually found it quite user-friendly. As with the regular Golf, it can appear a little bit foreign at first, but I've found that you are able to shortcut a lot of basic commands with the touchscreen, so you're not going through 2 or 3-step processes to do something like recirculated air conditioning. All in all, a really great place to be, and as with all Golfs, there's a really good array of storage, space and comfort inside the cabin.
The standard GTI still gets tartan seats made popular by the 1976 original, and passenger amenity is strong across both rows. The use of materials and presentation here is first class and goes some way in justifying the GTI's higher purchase price. Safety also takes a significant step forward in this Mark 8 generation with the full gamut of expected standard equipment. But enough of all that, it's time to find out how the GTI drives.
The fundamentals of the GTI experience are largely the same as before, and that's no great surprise given all the internals are carryover. What you're getting is quite a competent little hot hatch, one that has no troubles dialing down its power, has a really nice, usable 2-litre engine, and it's a really sporty premise as well. But the great thing about the Golf GTI is that it does that without detracting from road comfort and refinement. It's still a car that you could happily spend 8 hours in doing interstate trips, you can commute in, and it's not in any way jarring or anything with the way that it controls itself over bumps.
Central to the all-rounder theme is the GTI's engine, which offers an official 6.3-second sprint to 100 k's an hour from rest, but will also deliver a claimed fuel consumption rating of 7 litres per 100 k's.
The EA888 engine is as relevant as ever. It works really well. The 7-speed wet dual-clutch automatic transmission is also a willing accomplice. You get a little bit of lurch upon taking off, but other than that, the changes are razor sharp and swift. Complaints with the GTI? Well, it would be really nice if there was a standalone manual option with the dual clutch automatic transmission. The old model, you used to be able to put it into a manual gate and it would hold gears. Around the circuit here today, I've found that there's been occasions where it'll automatically shift up even though you've asked it not to. But the other complaint is really the lack of noise. It'd be really nice if those European sound emissions didn't dictate less sound from the car. So it does kind of take away from the theatre of the Golf GTI.
Where the GTI makes a bigger impact is road manners. It is still at the pointy end of the hot hatch brigade for road compliance, comfort and refinement. It screams daily driver more than anything else.
With that in mind, it means that the GTI is a good performer on a circuit, but it's not exactly going to set the world on fire if you are a regular track day enthusiast. The electronic differential up the front at times has trouble putting the power down. It really does miss the involvement of a manual transmission. And when you really push it beyond sort of the performance envelope, there are some limitations with this car's tyres and everything else.
Civilised go-fast manners have long been the GTI's calling card, so there's little surprise the brief carries through to this latest generation. Volkswagen's evergreen hot hatch is sweetened with a 5-year unlimited kilometre factory warranty and the option of upfront care plans that cap servicing costs to as little as $460 annually.
Now, while this is a much more expensive and decidedly more upmarket version of the Golf GTI than what we've seen in the past, I think the important thing here is that the fundamentals still resemble that original Golf GTI blueprint that was brought to the table in 1976. In time, it'd be really nice to see something like a Golf GTI original or even the return of a manual transmission to bring down that entry point. I think if Volkswagen can do that, then they've got a real winner on their hands.